800 CHAB Radio is proud to present Ask the Expert with Greg Marsnick and Rob Carney.
Greg Marsnick at Heritage Insurance on 800 CHAB's Ask the Expert. Greg, it is that time of year when a lot of us like to burn candles at nighttime for ambiance and to warm up a room. But there are so many things that can go wrong when you're burning candles in the home. And at this time of year, there's lots of flammables around the house. You've got some tips on how we can do this safely.
That's exactly right, Rob. In fact, the Candle Association say there's actually 15,000 fires that are attributed to candles. And they say 99% of these can be, eliminated just by doing things properly around your house. So that's why we have these tips here. First of all, always keep a burning candle in sight. So if you're ever leaving a room with it burning, please put it out. The other thing is never burn a candle near anything flammable such as drapes, beddings, carpets, books. Flammable decorations this type of year, especially very important. Also, keep in mind young children. Always, and of course pets. I know we have a pet. They get curious. Kids specifically, they're attracted to fire. So make sure it's away so they can't be knocked over either by pets or kids. Also, something that I wasn't aware of is trimming your wick. Anytime you start that, it should never be more than 1/4 of an inch. So just take the time to cut it and make sure it's straight. So, because if it's long or crooked, it actually will have an uneven burning and dripping. As well, always use a candle holder that is specifically right for that candle. I've been in houses where they've got a candle that the melted wax is around there and it's in a 45-degree angle, and just not the thing to do. The other thing is be sure that the candle holder is placed on something that is stable and also heat resistant. I was actually just talking to a client the other day, and they had talked where their house almost burnt down because of the fact that they didn't have it in a heat resistant holder. So again, that's something that should be very aware of. And keep the wax pool free of any match ends or any wick trimmings, because those can also create a fire in there. Also, always read the manufacturer's directions as to the length of time that you actually can burn that candle, because you shouldn't be burning them any longer than they do recommend. And keep burning candle away from drafts, vents, and fans and currents, because what can happen is, number one, it can blow a drape over, start that on fire. It can create uneven burning, causing the wax to come down, and hot wax can cause fires as well. So another good tip. And keep them in a well-ventilated room. Don't burn too many candles in a small, tight room. The other thing is don't burn a candle all the way down. What the recommendations are from the National Candle Association is discontinue burning a candle when it's 2 inches of wax remains, or at least a 1/2 inch from that container. The other thing is never touch a candle or move a candle while it's either lit or while there's wax liquid, because what can happen, it can spill, burn, drop the candle, boom, instant fire. And never place a candle at least, they should be, if you have a series of candles, have them at least 3 inches apart, because this can make sure that, if you're 3 inches apart, that they don't melt one another or create their own drafts and causing the candle to burn in properly. When putting out the candles, always use a candle snuffer, because I know kids love to blow out the candles and matches. Let them just blow out the match. Don't let them blow out the candle, because when they go up, of course, they have lots of air, they're excited, they blow, and again, that candle can spurt and sparks can fly, fires can start. So keep that in mind. I know Matthew loves to burn and blow, but if you get a snuffer, they like doing it just as much. Never extinguish a candle with water. Doesn't mix. It'll just splurt the water or the wax all over the place. So you definitely want to make sure of that. And also, if there's a power outage, you should probably use a flashlight as opposed to a candle, because people will be walking around. As well, never use a candle in a power outage to start something like kerosene lantern or a kerosene heater. Just not, the two things don't mix together. So always be prepared in the event of a power outage. If you're going to use it, just leave it placed there, light it, leave it placed there, and make sure the candle is completely extinguished when you are putting out, and that the wick is no longer have an ember on it and glowing when you leave leave the room. And again, if a candle is continually flicker repeating or the flame becomes too high, just put it out. It's usually not that good a quality of candle, and it can create a fire. And lastly, never use a candle as a nightlight. Just make sure you put that out even though you are in the room. That's where a lot of fires do start. So great tips, Rob. Be careful out there, and everyone have a very Merry, safe Christmas over the holiday season.
We can find these tips online on your website.
That's right. They'll be posted today at www.nohassleinsurance.ca, or you can come down to our office and see any one of our fine staff at the corner of Fairford and First Avenue Northwest.
Greg Marcinek at Heritage Insurance in Moose Jaw on 800 CHAB's Ask the Expert.